Man, it's already the 28th of the month already. And I said I would make a omlog for each of the gotcha games I played, and I'd do 2 VOD reviews this month. And it's already the 28th. There's literally only 1, 2, 3, 4 days left, including this day in this month. That means I gotta make a Melty Blood video and a gotcha omlog each day. And luckily for me, because of the snowstorm, or unluckily for me because of the snowstorm, I've actually been at home for like the last 4 days. I've literally not, like my Monday got caught off, my Tuesday got caught off, so it's like I'm just home right now. So I figured it's time to actually get off my ass and start doing some of these videos, And this is the first one, the GBF Omlog. I think I did not do a GBF Omlog for both November and December, and it's pretty much the end of January, so this is going to have some of my plans for February as well. So I think first things we're going to talk about is Win Guild War. I'm not Marissa Mage. I'm not super duper up to date in Guild War anymore, primarily because I mostly focus on Fire right now. And because let me switch this. I had it in the wrong order on my screen. Anyway, because I'm super focused on Fire, I'm not up to date in each and every single element I really should be. But I wanted to just, put this as a vlog on my channel for the shit that I did this month in regards to Granblue Fantasy. Or, well, I guess the last 2 months. So, first things first, we're going to talk about, I guess, Eternal Progress first. I have a small notepad, but I wanted to talk about some other shit before I got to the stuff on it. Evokers. I'm almost done on my Evokers. I literally just have, Potato Estoroila, and I also have Maria Theresa left. Maria Theresa is getting a Transcendence, I believe, next month. Let me Google that in a separate tab real quick. But anyways, I'm literally just almost done them and their weapons. Like you can see, for her, I'm literally only missing Veritas. I will farm it as soon as we get the next Arcarum event, Arcaro Sandbox event. I'm also missing Veritas for Estoroila. Let me double check real quick. Inventory, characters. I think that's all I'm missing for him. Add bonuses. Oh, so I'm missing the lusters as opposed to these. I probably a little short on these as well for Estoroila. I can't even say his name properly at all, by the way, if you can't tell. Anyway, I'm also in my Evokers, so I should be able to have them all at 100 and just in time for Transcendence, because if it's anything like Eternal Transcendence, they're going to ask for you to have all of them at 100 again. So I should be perfectly fine for that one. We're going to talk about which ones I'll transcend in a bit, but first let's go over the first thing I wanted to talk about, which is for November, when Guild War happened. I think shortly after my birthday, I think it was November 12th that started Win Guild War. I don't remember exactly the date, but I did not play Win Guild War super seriously whatsoever. I'm going to show you my EX Plus, and I don't think my EX Plus was even super consistent whatsoever. I don't even remember where I put it. That's how little I paid attention during this Guild War. It was this team. It was probably this grid. I don't even have 230. And I believe, yeah, I think this was my Horde full auto, and I believe this was also my 80. I'm doing dailies on a tab you can't see, so I'm going to, I don't know if it will actually pull up. Oh wow, it still lets you do trials even if you're doing dailies on a different tab. That's cool. Anyway, I believe it was just... No, this is not correct. Because there was supposed to be a bunch of attacks after... I can't even... See, I don't even remember which team I had for my Nightmare 85. Not 85. It's just EX Plus. That's the name of the... See, I can't even remember where the party is. It's not this. This is what I used to mash on 250 and 200. I was mostly stuck on 200. I did not have Neon 150 during Guild War. I got her to 150 literally the day after the Guild War. She was like 148 during Guild War, and that was kind of ass. Next time we will fully transcend our Eternals for Guild War. Anyway, so this is what I ran for 100. I didn't even record any videos because the setups were so scuffed that there was no real point in sharing them. So like Win Guild War was not good at all. My Nightmare 90 was something like this, which I use Katura Go probably, and this was not. I probably used Escallion for my 80, but I can't exactly remember where I might have overridden my Nightmare EX Plus tab for Win Guild War, but like that just shows you how little I gave a shit about Win Guild War whatsoever. I don't even have the setup on hand. I did take more note of my Win Guild War shit, because not my Earth Guild War stuff, because I actually play Earth seriously as an element for like fun. Even though, before we go to Earth Guild War, I want to talk about what happened to me during December in regards to Grand Blue Fantasy, because what happened was it's holiday season in Grand Blue Fantasy during December, and that means you end up let me see, Spark Maker. No, okay. What I'm going to do here is just show you the tab. Yeah, I think that's fine. Anyway, I did a bunch of sparks in December because you get a whole bunch of free pulls. I actually saved like 3 sparks throughout 2025. I didn't pull on summer, even though I really should have. I did not pull Summer Atom for what God knows whatever reason. I thought he wasn't going to be core. Then Varusea came out 4 months later, and he's super core for that fight. So look who's going to have to sludge through that fight without him. Yippee! Anyway, this is my first spark. I ended up having to spark for Bisa, which is not good because that means I literally need a second copy of her weapon down the line. So I think the only things I need on Flash at all right now is like, let me open it in a new tab. Give me a second. Who do I need in Grand Blue Fantasy? Let me see what I need in Flash Leg Fest. I think shows up list. It might just be on grand characters. Oh, whatever. This should be a good enough list. No, at the. That's not even a useful list. Fuck. What? Let me see her name. I can find her if I find her name. It starts with an S, I think. No, bro. I don't even know the name of the character. Fuck. She's the Water Grand that released 2 months ago, 3 months ago. I'm literally looking for her on the list. I don't see it. She's got to be somewhere in this stupid list. It has all the grand characters. She's water. I'm looking for the water symbol. Sylvia, yeah. Her name did start with S. That's the only character I'm missing on Flash right now. Yeah, it's just her. And I think I need 1 or 2 copies of her weapon for a water primal if I ever decide to go water primal. I'm not going water primal right now though, so I literally just need a copy of her for the Guild War in case she ends up being core for Nightmare 250 or whatever. I don't even know what she does, but she's probably going to be important. Anyway, this is my first Flash. Had a lot of gold moons. I didn't get a Bisa copy, which is really unfortunate because now I have to spark a second one down the line, but whatever. This is my first leg spark, which was fine, I guess. I actually have now enough G-Seek weapons, which is really good. I started Legfest with only 1, and I ended up with 4, which is good because you need 4 sometimes for some setups. I'm probably only going to borrow 2 or 3, but having all of them just in case I need them in the future is good because his weapon's really strong. Caesar, I think he's mostly a weapon bot right now. Like, I know his weapon's good. I am primal and light, even though I'm only like 210 Zeus. I don't even like playing light primal that much. I still farmed all of Magda anyway, so I don't even know why I went primal and light, but I will borrow his weapon when I'm done finishing up my primal earth. Sandira was the big one that I actually bothered, prepping a bunch of sparks for, because since she's fire, I was going to. Since we knew for a fact she was going to be fire, I got prepped in order to grab her day one, which is good. And I didn't even have to spark her this time, unlike last year where I had to spark Palia, not Palia. That she was 2 years ago. Who was last year? Indra, in Indala. No, I think it's Indala. Fuck, bro. Am I getting memory loss already? Yeah, it's Indala. Okay, yeah. I had a spark Indala last year, which was whatever, and I didn't have to spark. But the thing is, I anti-sack because I did 2 sparks on leg because I wanted to get I wanted to make sure I grabbed Verusia because every single year on New Year's banner they release a super broken summon that kind of just determines if you're able to play the game during Guild War that year. And last year I did not have Orologia with stones for like half the year, and the second I had her in my Guild War setups, that shit felt so much better than it did without her. Like it's literally a night and day difference if you don't have the super broken summon that year. So it's like I really wanted to make sure I grabbed her, so I set up myself to be able to double spark leg, and I still didn't get her in like 600 pulls. I was actually considering if I just keep on dumping pulls on leg to make sure I got her, but then reason kicked in, and it's like just because I didn't get her in 600 pulls doesn't change the odds of getting her within like the next 100 pulls. Even if I dump all of my pulls right now, there's no guarantee, there's no spark for her. So I was like, you know what, fuck it, we will just golden moon ticket her. I would have been able to 0-tix her immediately if not for the fact, oh wait, you can't even see, you can see this one, but you can't see all of this one. Let me quickly move it real quick. You can see all, because I accidentally kept I kept the selector part in there when you didn't need to see it. This is the new characters. I sparked Serial because I wanted to finish up Leg again. I wanted to make sure I had all the characters from Leg because I don't really like sparking Leg. I've been done with Leg for like a long while. For example, I can't use this Sieg anymore. Not Sieg, this Percival anymore. I can't use his Reinhardt. I have 2 full limit break of his weapon. I think I have 3 or 4 full limit break of Ryan's weapon at this point. That's how many times I pulled the dude. And none of these new characters, other than G Matera, were a welcome surprise. So it's like, I just get a lot of shit I can't use on Leg nowadays. So I'm mostly going to just be sparking Flash. And with that in mind, let's go back to the game to discuss Wind Guild War. So big things to take away from Holiday 2025 is that I didn't get Verusia. So as soon as I didn't get Verusia, I kind of just mentally prepared myself that I wasn't going to take this Guild War all that seriously because I was like, Verusia looks to be the most broken thing since sliced bread, and I'm not going to bother wasting my time tryharding in a Guild War that I don't have all the super strong options for, especially considering that I don't have Summer Raziel either. Because last year, like I had to 0-tix. Who did I 0-tix last year? Do I have to double check? I see. This is why I have the vlogs. This is so that I could actually remember in the future. But who did I 0-tix last year? If I go into inventory, I should be able to find out. Characters, summon. Kumhira. Who did I 0-tix? I probably 0-tix like H-Mugen or some bullshit like that. This was anniversary. Who did I 0-tix? Yeah, I did. Yeah, I anno-tixed H-Mugen. Yeah, so I literally used my anti-tix on something good, so I didn't like troll last year. I had to anti-tix him because he's like super duper broken, and that was because I wanted to anti-tix C Wamdis, but originally people were like, "Oh, C Wamdis isn't the best thing to flight spread." So what I ended up doing this year is I didn't actually sack C Wamdis from pulls. I actually had to 0-tix her. So that's why I wasn't able to 0-tix Verusia immediately, because I had to 0-tix Wamdis instead. I don't regret 0-tixing her. She's definitely worth a 0-tix, and I can't get spooked to her on anything that's important. But because I 0-tixed her, I'm actually short on moons to 0-tix Verusia right now. I should have enough moons after anniversary in 2 months in March. But right now I'm like 90 moons or 92 moons out of the 150 I need to 0-tix Verusia as soon as possible. So Just not gonna bother. I kind of just mentally prepared myself to not give too much of a shit for this Guild War. I think I did relatively fine. Let me quickly go to the Guild War tab right now. Unite and fight. I did 2 billion honors. I know like the top 100k this Guild War was 5 billion. Top 150 I believe was 3 billion. Let me go to individual. Yeah. It was 3 billion, right? Or could I? Oh, I probably could have pushed 2.5 billion. I kind of pwned myself over. I would have easily made top 150 if not for the fact that on day one and on day three, I didn't know I had a 250 setup because the last two Guild Wars I don't really play wind that much. Did Fire have a 250 yet? I don't think it did because I would have been cooking in 250 because I have extra good in Fire. But whatever. The last two Guild Wars were wind favored and I believe light favored. Those had 250s, but I didn't have the correct characters for those, and those were like super duper character locked and super duper fucked. So I was like, oh, I probably just can't 250 this time. I actually could, but I had to manual 250. But still, I was able to get like 1 billion honors the last day, and that's despite the fact I was even playing that much the last day. Because the thing with Guild War is, for me, I'm on the Eastern Coast, so Guild War for times for me is like since it's not daylight savings time for like another 2 months. Guild War is 5 p.m. to 10 a.m. the next day, and I work in the mornings. I work like 5 or 6 o'clock in the mornings till like 12 to 2, either. It changes by day, but regardless, I don't try that hard in Guild War because most of the time I just have to go to work the next day. I don't call off of work for Guild War because that's stupid, and yeah, because of that, I don't really bother that much. But for this Guild War, because of the snowstorm, I was actually at home for most of it, so I probably could have pushed a little harder and gotten top 100k if I really, really cared. But again, I didn't have Russia, so I mentally decided to check out really early. Although this Guild War was a lot better than most of my other Guild Wars because I actually had setups for this Guild War. For example, this setup right here with the destructor weapon, the two, like I have bars to make this setup better because if I go in my stash, and if you remember what I pulled, you know that I have four of the destroyer weapons like right here. But I'm out of bars right now, so I need to go bar farm with my C Wamdus before I do any of that nonsense. So this setup was what I used for like 98% of Guild War. If I look at my notepads, according to it, I used it for 95, 100, and 150. And yeah, I got super lucky during the holiday draws because I just picked up Bennu randomly during the holiday units shit. I probably could have sparked that banner, but I don't think C Wamdus was on raid up, so I didn't bother. Yeah, she wasn't on raid up. It was G Rain and Bennu, and both of them are super duper good. I sacked Bennu, and I was like, do I want to use a spark here? But I was figuring that I wanted to save it for Leg Fest because I wanted to increase my odds of getting Verusia and trying to pull her raid up. And well, you saw how that worked out. So I kind of wish now what I did instead is that I sparked C Wamdus on the 3%, and I used the moons to zero ticks Verusia. But I think it ultimately worked out because at least now I have Serial and I have Matera for Grands. I don't think Matera is all that great, but having her is probably going to be better than just not having her whenever Wing Guild War rolls up around again. Because I think she's like a half decent normal attacker. I'm kind of out of the loop in this game. I do want to get back to playing a Grand Blue Fantasy a lot more seriously and with more intent in the future. But I've mostly been focusing on ZZZ and doing a little bit of cleanup in Wuwa right now. So Grand Blue Fantasy was on the back burner for a long time. And it's only within the last like 3 months that I've been playing it with like the intent of improvement in Grand Blue Fantasy as opposed to just like full autoing Grand Blue Fantasy and just doing like basic upkeep and fire. But now that I see Wamdus again, my fire is almost all up to stuff outside of not having S-Atom, which continues to pain my soul every single day as I look at Verusia and I'm like, damn, Verusia looks kind of scary without S-Atom carrying my ass over the finish line. But I'm going to start to learn Verusia this month. That's my plan. I want to force myself to get out of my comfort zone in Grand Blue Fantasy and start trying to play endgame more seriously in this game as well. This video is going to be the shortest of my Omlog, so I don't think there's a lot for me to say in Grand Blue Fantasy because I didn't record setups for Guild Wars because, again, I wasn't going to take Guild War that seriously. I think the last thing I need to do is we're about to move to the second part of this video. Ooh, wait. For these omlogs, I want to start talking about the story more, but I think because I kind of fucked up this month and I did not go through because I fucked up this month and I did not do these earlier. I don't want to spend as much time going over through my thoughts on the stories, especially because I didn't write them down. I want to start like writing my thoughts down on the stories I read, so I can better improve as both a writer and like a understander of the stuff that I'm reading and enjoying, and why I like them and why I don't. But TLDR, for my opinions on the Grand Blue story, it's kind of fucked that Io, Rosetta, Eugen. I always say the name wrong because I think of Eugene. It's kind of fucked they're not in the story anymore. But I think other than the fact they were kind of hand waved, I'm really liking this new chapter in Grand Blue Fantasy Stories again. I've actually started reading the events once more because for like a good 2 years, I was not reading a Grand Blue Fantasy Story events. But after like the great uplift and the end of the part 1 of GBF story that took a fucking dozen years, I think they finally figured out what they really want to do with this story, and they're trying to at least do something interesting right now. So I'm sticking and reading the story again, but if it looks to be like dog shit again, I might just stop reading it again and just going based off vibes for the characters I like. Anyway, I would go deeper into the story, but I didn't write it down on the notepad. But what I did write on the notepad was shit I wanted to do in the upcoming month for Grand Blue. If I go back to this tab and I go to Yumikin's timeline, and I change this shit to be the Spark Maker again, and you don't see this, and you see this. Bada bing, bada boom. It has most of the important shit upcoming. And anyway, Records of the 10 is in like 5 days in a week. It doesn't matter. This doesn't matter. This doesn't matter. Yeah, this doesn't matter. Where is the shit that does matter? You were quartz in that. There was something that was super duper interesting that they were talking about that made me quality of light for bro. You can see the artifacts. I have 1,000 fucking artifacts in my thing already, and you can just see that I was scrolling them in the box. I don't know how to properly assort my artifacts yet. I need to actually learn how to do that in like the near future. So until then, they're just sitting in my box getting exploded. Steam client update is a mega fucking silly because you can't even use your existing account, so no one's gonna use that shit. Lancer Origin, I'm already prepped for this. I'm literally farming the extended mastery trails again in order to do it because I did fighter like relatively fast. Learning enemy skills is new. Right. Did they not tell us exactly when they're going to do this? Oh, they didn't. I thought this was supposed to be this month. Oh, I was under the expression that this was February this month. Fuck. If this is not February, then I put it on the dock for no reason. I was under the impression that Evoker Transcendence, where we're going to be able to get our Evokers to 150 with wonders that have the same effect as their sub-summons, so we don't have to use them in the grid, was going to be this month. It might not be this month. We're probably going to have to wait 3 more days to figure out when they're going to do it. But for my notepad, I have for my plans for February is 1, learning Borussia with a slightly scut fire setup. I'm primarily going to be using H Marissa to try to save me. No, not Marissa. H Maria Theresa to save me. Then Water Guild War prep, and that's it for this month at least. Next month is Wind Dread Barrage, which I don't give a shit about because again, I actually have the proper bullshit this time, where I have a 150 Neon, so she will be able to full auto the stupid shit regardless of whatever they throw at it because she has full dispel cancel 100% upside. So there's like 0 way that I get pwned during Dread Barrage this time. I would have not been pwned during a Guild War if I fucking bothered to level up my Neon properly during the last Sandbox event, but I didn't because I don't even know what the fuck I was doing. Anyway, this is what I use for 200. this bullshit. I had to make like this like had like an 80% chance to not die. It sometimes did die. Apparently Biso was not all that great for this boss. I didn't care. I didn't want to, again, clocked out of Guild War almost immediately because no Varusia. So I just slapped this together and it worked, even though it's slightly outdated. So I didn't think that hard about it. For 250, I think setup is here. No. Yeah, I did this. This worked, but it didn't full auto. You had to manual it, which was kind of annoying because I was trying to full auto 250, but I couldn't full auto it. I don't know. It's probably like an artifact or a grid issue because I don't have the stupid draconic. I don't have draconic because I only farmed fire draconic because I didn't like doing heromatic hierarch, even though I have to get back to that fight eventually. So this is just what I ran. And it did fine if I manualed, but if I didn't manual, it died. That's it for Earth Guild War. And what was I trying to yeah, Evoker Transcendence. I already showed you guys my Evokers earlier, but I'm like 99% prepped for Evoker Transcendence, but I'm probably only going to do the Fire and Earth ones off the bat. I will probably do Maria or Hasilia, depending on how good they are, because like Hasilia has always been the broken one. So I figure that she's going to get another broken set of upcaps, but maybe they make all of them a lot better. I would love for Maria Theresa to not be dog shit, of course, but they fucked her up like 6 times at this point, bro. I don't think they're going to magically make her not dog shit the 7th. So that's it for my Grand Blue Fantasy Omlog. These get like 5 views, but for the 5 of you who actually watch these, I do appreciate you watching them a lot more than I guess, especially considering I barely upload Grand Blue shit. I'm trying again. Before I go, I wanted to at least show what I'm planning on doing for Varusia. I'm planning on running a Fighter Origin comp. I also have the 150 fire, like I have a whole bunch of fire bullshit that I could try if this doesn't work. I have Higurashi. I'm never picking up Blazing Mistral because I wanted to pick up Blazing Mistral for the memes like 2 fucking years ago, but then I had to Zero Tix over Logia. Now I have to Zero Tix Varusia, and I Zero Tix Siwamdis. I'm literally never going to get the spare moons to warrant getting a stupid Blazing Mistral for the sake of memes. So this is probably going to be my grid. I need to finish farming Wamdis to Mark II my defense swords. Like, that's literally the only thing that I need to finish for this grid, I believe. Like, this probably needs to be a defense sword instead of a special sword, to be honest. But, like, I should be fine grid-wise other than not having a Varusia weapon. I'm just worried about character-wise. Because while I have, like, the full suite of, like, powerful fire characters, I'm really worried if Maria Theresa will be enough to make up for the fact that she is not the Atom. And I'm going to like look up and start asking people. Like, I don't want to be like, people in the Grand Blue Fantasy community are understandably pissed about people who do not bother learning the game and start asking stupid questions about their setups, right? Like, oh, I don't have this, can X, Y work instead, without proper context. So I'm trying to not be one of those guys, but I still need to. I'm a little worried about how well this setup will be able to move in Varusia, if I'll be able to actually contribute into doing labors and shit. I'm also kind of worried about how well my setups are for even like Fa Zero. I think my fire setup for Fa Zero is a little outdated. I need to make sure, I need to start using these EXP plus shit, honestly. Like, this is, let me find the setup I'm using for Fa Zero. It's like Omega old. These are my Siwamdis or Karam setups. I'm still using a Fini setup in Fa Zero for all intents. Bro, this setup is like 3 fucking years old. Holy shit. Find it. It's gotta be somewhere around here. Yeah, this is what I use in Fa Zero? No, no, this is my Hexa setup that I never bothered finish testing. I can't find it. Where's my stupid 5-0 setup that has Feeny? Is this it? Yeah, this is it. This setup is Omega Ancient. Like, it's super old. I think it's fine though, but like, I probably should be running Yule now instead of Feeny, but I don't know if I want to relearn the fight with her compared to just autopiloting what I do now. Like, I have a whole bunch of baby shit in this grid, and I could probably run a full carry setup, but I just haven't bothered learning yet. So I want to actually properly relearn the endgame raids in the near future. And by the near future, I mean this month, because first I'm going to get my Opus to 250, and then I'll bother with trying to carry on fire. Probably in a 250 all the opuses I use, honestly, instead of being super lazy about that. But I think that's it for what I want to talk about in this video, at least. And for those of you who haven't noticed, I have an actual mic now. It's a USB mic. It should be half decent. This one probably shouldn't die in a year and a half, ideally, hopefully. I would love for it to not do that. Hopefully this video interested the people who care about my Grand Blue shit, and it's going to be a nice vlog for me, at least at the bare minimum. So there's that. Thank you for those who watch it, and goodbye.